This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. Today, we've got a special Thanksgiving show for you. We're taking a look back at the stories that make us thankful for this year. One of the stories that really struck me this year happened not too long ago. Actor Dax Shepard came clean about his relapse with pain pills, something he'd been keeping a secret even from his wife, Kristen Bell. His bravery, sharing his truth really made me think. It's a story I'm thankful we can now talk about without that stigma attached. Watch.
For the last 8 weeks, maybe, I don't really know. You would know better than I would. I'm on them all day. And I'm allowed to be on them at some dosage because I have a prescription, and then I'm also augmenting that. And then all the prescriptions run out, and I'm now just taking 30 mil oxys that I've bought at whenever I decide I can do.
Oh, man. Dax said he told his wife, Kristen Bell, and his podcast co-host, Monica Padman, about the pills at the same time, and said he was embarrassed to talk about this relapse because his sobriety had inspired others to stay clean. Wow. I have so much emotion right now. I can't even verbalize it. Number one, I'm very proud of Dax Shepard. The fact that he felt so much weight, Al, to not be honest about his recovery when most people don't understand that there's going to be slip-ups, right?
Yes.
And you have to understand that that's part of it. But I applaud him, and I'm just so sad that he feels that he had to keep that all to himself because of the stigma and the pressure.
Well, you know, Sam and Jeff, I've run a weekly men's sobriety Zoom call, and one of the guys on the call said something really interesting. He's actually in AA, and he said one of his sponsors, when he didn't tell his sponsor about wanting to go back and start drinking again, his sponsor said, "How dare you rob me of that, of reminding me why I stay sober and helping you stay sober." And I think Dax needs to remember that as well. This is a marathon in terms of your sobriety, and if you trip and you get a cut on your foot, you don't start the marathon over again. You tape it up and you get back in the race.
Yes.
So I hope that he does the same thing and realize this ain't a movie, bro. It's going to be a day-to-day, hour-to-hour fight, and you are going to slip up sometimes, and being honest about it is only going to make people listen to you more.
And people are going to relate to him even more now, Jeff.
Yeah, the pressure that, I mean, I deal with this too, that you put on yourself socially to try to be this perfect person in the world. It's not attainable. It doesn't exist, and Dax Shepard is no different. He's going to fall off the horse once in a while. You got to get back on the horse and keep going. Like Al said, I know he feels bad because he couldn't be perfect. And that's human beings, though. That's human beings, and he's going to do better, and he's going to inspire even more people. So I'm trying to say here is good on Dax, and nobody's perfect, man. Get back up and keep fighting.
Yeah, we support you, Dax. We really do. And I can only imagine so many people listening to that podcast and even watching the show right now don't feel so guilty if they have a slip-up because of him being honest. So I think
we also need to have a real honest conversation, Sam, about what prescription drugs have done to this country.
Oh my gosh.
And we just keep trying to talk around it and the opioid crisis and all this kind of stuff. It's taken so many celebrities that we love, so many regular folks that I know, that you know, and it's just like, it's the issue we don't talk about.
I know.
We don't discuss it.
I hope that people can educate themselves on it if they don't know too much about it, and that we really do advocate for reform and accountability from those pharmaceutical companies.
And the doctors prescribing
Amen.
them. There is a middleman here, bro.
Amen. I'm just so grateful that we can have these conversations on this show. I had somebody come up to me right after that episode, and they brought you up, Al, and said how they're sober and they deal with shame, and it's something that they deal with on a daily basis, but they're so grateful that we can have the conversation on this platform because it helps them feel not ashamed. Can you speak to that?
Well, I think now more than ever, the stigma of like somebody that doesn't drink or doesn't smoke cigarettes or doesn't do anything else isn't as bad as probably even was 10 years ago. I remember hearing people say, never trust a man that won't have a scotch with you. I remember hearing sayings like that, and you're like, do I not fit in socially? And now when you go out and you're like, I'll have soda water, everybody's like, cool. Like, no one cares. So like, I'll tell anybody, because that was one of the things I thought that I wasn't going to be able to go out with you guys, or I was going to feel weird. everything's fine. We still have a great time. I just have sparkling water, and I don't have to call an Uber at the end. So
and you feel
it works
great
out.
in the morning.
I feel good in the morning. Who knew? 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday is a real thing.
And look how much Al's accomplishing. Man,
It definitely,
children's book. There's something out about to come out, but I don't want to give it away.
Lots of good things.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, Sam, let's get real.
My favorite part of the show when Al has to read the prompt.
I'm really good at it. Because, guys, we got to get real for a second. There's one thing that a lot of us have turned to for comfort, and that is food. That's right. And that's why I thank this guy for talking about what's really important. It's on everybody's lips, chicken wings. Enjoy.
Nothing about boneless chicken wings actually come from the wing of a chicken. We would be disgusted if a butcher was mislabeling their cuts of meats, but then we go around and pretending as though the breast of the chicken is its wing. Number 2, boneless chicken wings are just chicken tenders, which are already boneless. I don't go to order boneless tacos. I don't go and order boneless club sandwiches. I don't ask for boneless auto repair. It's just what's expected.
I love him. The man whose dad was one of the council members offered alternatives like saucy nugs and wet tenders. Ooh, I don't like wet tenders. But he's right. Amen.
Sounds like something to be in your search history.
What?
Nothing.
Ooh, standing O.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say this. Jeff, I've been waiting for somebody to say this for a long time. I've been yelling it, usually when I'd had too many drinks at a Buffalo Wild Wings. These are not wings. Wings have a completely different texture than boneless buffalo wings. They have a different outside. There's no bone anywhere around them. They're just like piggybacking off the love that everybody has for regular wings. They have nothing to do with wings, Jeff. How do you feel, man?
Al, I know how passionate you are about your wings. We, I think, are forever bonded over wings. We ate some super hot wings. We've went out, Al, and had wings, and Al does not mess around when he eats his wings. I've never seen anybody be so serious and get every single piece of meat off that wing.
Yes.
So I'm with Al on this one. I can't even fight it.
Well, yeah. It makes perfect sense. It's misleading. You can't.
But how is it latched on? Like you see it on every menu, boneless
because
wings.
Like you said, they're capitalizing off the fandom. Look at you.
Do you think no one likes the word cutlet? It's off-putting.
No, I think of cutlets, the things that you put in your breast.
I don't think about that at all.
Oh, well, there's an item that women will buy. They're like little cutlets, and you put them in your bra, and they make everything lift up.
Okay, that must be in the 3rd chapter of Anne with an E. Yes!
Wow! Wow!
Thank you, Booth.
Wow! Have you watched Anne with an E yet?
I have not. I'm going to binge watch it over Thanksgiving.
Promise me?
I promise that I'll watch things.
Wow. Have you watched Anne with an E yet?
No, and I'm not even. I will not watch it.
I don't understand. Have you guys watched The Queen's Gambit yet?
The fact that you want me to watch it so bad makes me not want to watch it.
Okay, what about The Queen's Gambit?
I heard that's good. I would watch that.
I did hear that's good.
Oh, but you'll watch The Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
Also a feminist tale about an orphan. A really bright, smart, but okay, you'll watch The Queen's Gambit.
I heard Anne with an E kind of trails off after the second season.
What, Jeff?
That's what The Queen's Gambit's about?
Yes.
I will not be watching that either.
It's about chess. It's fantastic.
Sounds riveting. How many episodes?
Coming up on DBL, we are catching up with R&B musician Kelly Price. She gets real about what's keeping her going in 2020. And one little girl is on a mission to help kids everywhere through art and creativity.
Oh, this made me cry.
Don't go away.
That.
Closed captioning provided by
Know that perfect Thanksgiving spread. The big turkey, all those sides, and no one is more excited about all that delicious food than the family dog. That's why we're talking about this viral claim. It's a list of what you can and can't feed your dog on Thanksgiving. Now, on the bad side, turkey skin, gravy, stuffing, bread dough, candied yams, etc. On the good side, only dog food. Now, since we know some of us are weak and like to spoil our pets, and others are a bit clumsy and might drop some food, we're verifying if this is true. To find out, we checked with the Texas A&M Veterinary School, the American Veterinary Medical Association, and the American Kennel Club. Short answer, yes, most of the things on this list shouldn't be fed to pets, but some are worse than others. Raisins, grapes, chocolate, stuffing with onion or garlic, and macadamia nuts are highly toxic to your pets. If they get any of this, call the vets. But the rest of the list aren't quite as serious. Turkey skin, fat, trimmings, butter, and gravy aren't great. They're filled with fat, which the AVMA says can lead to pancreatitis. Bread dough is dangerous because it can swell inside a pet's stomach, and spices like sage and nutmeg aren't great either, but are typically found in small doses and shouldn't be concerning. Now, store-bought mushrooms are fine, corn is fine, though the cobs can be a choking hazard, and cooked yams are fine, but avoid a lot of sugar. So bottom line, yeah, for the most part, this list is correct. A lot of Thanksgiving food is bad for your furry family members. Now, pets will be pets, and if they accidentally get some of this, keep an eye on them and call your vet if they start acting differently. And if you need to double check, we have a nice list of all these foods up on our website. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Welcome back to DBL. We had a lot of stars on the show this year, but this Thanksgiving we wanted to share a special interview Erica did with musician Kelly Price. Now pay close attention to what she said about being together during these tough times.
Long before Lizzo, Kelly Price reshaped what women in the music industry looked like. That was in the 90s. Now the producer, writer, and platinum-selling Grammy-nominated artist has new music and shares how she has found joy despite challenging times. Kelly Price, welcome to DBL.
Hello.
Just so you know, for a year of my life, I woke up to Kelly Price as we lay because the beginning of the song starts, morning, and we slept the night away. It's been 6 years since you released a studio album, and now fans can look forward to new music from you. But it's both inspirational and R&B.
My life is just as much church girl as it is R&B singer. I'm a preacher's kid. But I had two rules when I came into this business. Whatever it was I was singing about, whatever it was I was doing, I needed to be able to do it for my children and for my grandparents. And if I couldn't do it for the both of them and justify it, then I didn't need to do it.
Well, let's talk about your gospel music because it is all about praising the Lord, of course.
I dare not even ask anything, standing here in your presence, no. Selfishly, I've done it before.
Now, because of that, how difficult is it to judge the contestants on BET's gospel competition, Sunday's Best?
It's not difficult for me. I come from the same foundation that they are all a part of. And then they all did it this year in the middle of a global pandemic. Right. They had 6 family members. One of our contestants lost his stepmother while I was dealing with my own grief. So we got an opportunity to lead by example this season and show them that when the world goes crazy, especially because you bring a message of hope, you don't get to shut down.
But I just want to pause down for a second because I want to extend my condolences to you. You and your family have been hit hard by the pandemic, like so many other families. And I'm really sorry to hear that you lost your grandfather from COVID-19 in April. And now your 95-year-old grandmother, who your grandfather was married to for 70 years, is currently fighting the virus. How's she doing?
She is the strongest woman I know. She went into the hospital. She was in ICU. It wasn't good. She had a feeding tube, all of that. Grandma is out of the hospital. She knew, and God knew, that I couldn't take losing both of them like that.
Are you finding strength in the idea that you're not alone? What's getting you through these challenging times?
The message of togetherness is one that I continue to carry. It's been the theme of my life. And I feel like together is the only way we make it through this. We have to check on one another. We have to check on our elderly neighbors. We have to check on those that we know deal with health struggles.
And you've worked with many other legendary voices like Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. So who's had the greatest impact on your career and why?
No one person has had the greatest impact. I had in like a master class at different points of my career, Mariah being that first teacher. And Whitney was just my sister. So she pushed me, she pushed me, she pushed me. She taught me so much. More than anything, it was the whispers in my ear in her moments of transparency, where she literally would talk to me about what her struggles in this business were and tell me, you don't have to deal with that. Don't fall for the okie doke.
I really do appreciate you sharing that, because I think that we all need to identify those people in our lives that can, you know, help shepherd us along our way.
Yes, you need at least one, because there are a lot of people who are at home and they're struggling right now. It's bigger than just the financial hit that this country has taken. If we're gonna get through this time, we're gonna get through it together. This is where selfishness needs to go out the window, and we've gotta remember that we are a village, a community first.
Right. Well, Kelly Price, oh my gosh, and just ending it with, you gotta keep pushing, from the woman who woke me up for a year with the phrase, it's morning. Can I get that one more time?
Yes, it's morning.
Yes, yes.
Great story. Coming up on DBL, you can't stop this little girl. Chelsea is on a mission to help other kids, and her joy and passion will bring a big smile to your face. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to DBL. We're looking back at the stories we're thankful for that we could share with you. Meet Chelsea, a girl who just wants to make this world a little brighter.
Chelsea Fair. Hey, young queen. Welcome to DBL.
Hi.
Hi. Chelsea, we are so excited to have you here. This is really, really important because you're almost 11 years old, but you've already made a big impact with your charity. So what's Chelsea's charity all about?
Chelsea's Charity is a nonprofit organization, and we give our kids to children in need, like in homeless shelters, foster care agencies, and kids who've been through traumatizing events.
It's just so amazing that you're a child who's making other children feel seen. That's really important. Now, did something happen that made you say, okay, I want to help, and I know how I'm going to do it exactly, because this is brilliant?
When I was 5, I went on a vacation with my family, and I saw a lot of homeless people, and they looked so sad, and that made me sad. I'm like, Mommy, why can't they just go home? So we had this conversation that everyone doesn't have homes or access to certain things. 2 years later, I received a very elaborate art kit from a family friend, and my mom was like, be careful, we can't afford to replace that. Not everyone is as fortunate to have art kits like that. And that made me so sad, because art has helped me get through so many tough times, and everyone deserves to have that too, no matter if they have it or not. I don't want accessibility to get in the way of people being able to express themselves.
Girl. Access. You want other children to have the type of access that you feel fortunate to have. That is a beautiful thing. Now, what kind of things do you put in the kit? And how many have you donated so far?
Making kits to go. Hopefully these will go out today.
We are almost to the 3,000 point mark. In our art kits, we put in color pencils, markers, crayons, paints, 2 different types of glue, and paintbrushes.
Almost 3,000 mark. That is amazing. How does it feel knowing that you're making such a big difference in other kids' lives?
Amazing, because I want to inspire other kids to make each other happy too and make an impact on our community. And I just want to inspire kids because if everyone is doing nice things for each other, we can make the world a great place. And maybe if everyone has art just expressing themselves in different ways, then maybe we can prevent the next disaster from happening and get world peace. Never know unless you try.
Girl, I'm going to ask Alexa to give me your motivational talk every morning when I wake up, because we need this sunshine every morning. Where can people go to donate to Chelsea's charity?
At www.chelseascharity.com. It's our website. And you can help us by spreading the word on social media and stuff like that.
Amazing. Well, we will do that. But Chelsea, all of us here at DBL think you're a really special girl and you're doing amazing things for the world. So look out for some donations coming in from the DBL staff members, because many of us are committed to supporting you and your cause, Chelsea's charity. Thank you so much for doing such wonderful work, and thanks for speaking with us today on Daily Blast Live.
Oh, thank you for having me. When I get older, I want to grow up to be like as pretty as you and my mommy combined.
Oh my God. Honey, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. And the idea that you want to be pretty as me, girlfriend, you are going to slay all day, every day, because you already are. You take care, doll.
Okay, bye.
My gosh, Chelsea is beautiful inside and out.
Yeah.
She's anointed to be like a child and already have the motivation and inspiration to help others, because inherently children, right, they just think of themselves.
Yes, that's what they should do.
Right.
But some kids think outside themselves. That was the only segment I've ever donated money while we were running the interview.
You've done that a couple times.
You've done that many times.
Yeah, well, yeah. That we
but
I only count.
It's hard to say no to that face.
Yeah, that was that.
Chelsea, you
what
are.
What a smile on a human being.
And she's going to evoke big change. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, we want to talk about something that's really helped keep this show going this year. Because of the pandemic, we couldn't all be together. So instead, we've relied on technology to keep us all connected. And with that comes, well, learning curves and funny moments, like the time Al was live from his floating chair. Take a look. Albert Jackson joining us from, wait, where are you?
Game of Thrones?
Are you at a gaming convention? What is that chair?
I am sitting in my son's gamer chair. It's really the last thing left in the house, moving into a new house this week. So it's an empty house, but it's a good week.
Congratulations. That chair. It's too good. There was also this time when Lindsay joined us from what looked like a law library. Yup. And who could forget Jeff, who joined us from the set of a movie he shot in Georgia, big timer. And finally, so many of you have commented on Erica's padded pink room. Yep, it kind of looks like she's in a genie bottle. There it is. Yeah, a lot of people have commented on that. I love that room.
Yeah,
That's where she does all of her podcasts from.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've gotten more random texts and calls from the homies about Erica's setup than almost any story we've ever done. Everybody's like, what is that? What is she in? It's just like, it creates conversation.
Yeah. They said rap, so I was going to say something, we got to go.
DBL is new every day. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Nailed it.
Happy break.